Hello everybody, hopefully my settings are still the same. It's been a little bit since I uploaded a video, but I'm very excited from a solo player standpoint. Very excited to look at these new tech trees. I'm on the staging branch right now on a Battlefield server, and I loaded it up specifically just so I could look at the tech trees here, and just wanted to talk about it for a little bit, let you guys know what's going to be hitting on Thursday. So I'm just going to go through all three, give my thoughts on it, and that'll just be it. Just be a nice short video. So you access the tech trees through a workbench. Each tier is relative to the tier of the workbench, obviously. So you open it up, and you got all of these. Now I'm told, and a lot of this is hearsay at the moment because no one really knows what's going on, but I'm told that you cannot unlock a blueprint at the bottom unless you have everything above it. Okay, and there's no way that I can test that at the moment because I'm on a Battlefield server. Now I could spend a few hours and do it on a vanilla server, but honestly I just don't have the time to gather. How much scrap is it? 1850 scrap on a vanilla server and look at it. So yeah, so let's just look at it a little bit. We have reinforced glass window, which is now strengthened glass window. This actually got nerfed from 500 to 350 health, which lowers the cost of raiding it considerably. Didn't get cut in half, but it's about 66% strength of what it was. So I probably won't be using these in my base builds except for maybe like a cheaper shop front for an airlock as an option. But even then, shop fronts give you a wider range of view. So honestly, I don't see too much of a use for strengthened glass window anymore after what they've done to it. But that remains to be seen. You know, you never know. Could still find a use for it. Honestly, before, I think it was a little bit overpowered. It was 50 metal fragments, and it had enough strength. It had strength to match a stone wall. I mean, there was if you were high effort enough, if you were as much of a sweaty gamer, you could just fill your whole base with these, and it would be like raiding just complete walls the whole way through. Garage door, predictably, very far down. Honestly, not very feasible to get all of these blueprints just to get garage door. You're better off getting garage door the same way you've always gotten it, which is to just find it. But the reason that I like these is because this is an answer to small groups. Now, for a very long time, people have always complained about how popular Zergs are and how easy it is to play Zerg and how Face Punch caters to the Zerg playstyle. While that is true with the key card system, and I've complained about that forever, this is a huge step. This is an enormous step, and honestly, it's an answer to so many people's prayers of making small group or solo play style viable. This is so nice. I can't even begin to explain. It's incredible. It gives you a fighting chance against Zerg because honestly, you know, obviously, day one of wipe, Zerg will have a tier 3 AK. I mean, a good Zerg is going to have every single item in the game within a few hours of the server wiping. So this gives smaller groups and solo players a fighting chance to catch up in technology without having to fight, you know, a group that's 4 times your size, or in my case, you know, 25 times my size. So this is really nice. Now, most of these are pretty useless except for this electronic branch. I feel like that's going to be the only reason people do research on tier 1, because all the useful tier 1 blueprints are at the very bottom. Satchel is at the very bottom. I can't even tell you how much scrap it's going to be to get all the way down to Satchel. I don't know how much these are individually because, as you can see, I have everything unlocked. but I don't think it's going to be feasible to research Satchel through the tech tree system. I think that you'll probably just be better off finding one and getting the blueprint that way, the old-fashioned way. But then again, Satchel raiding is really never a good idea. Only in a few circumstances is it good, in my opinion. Like bringing one Satchel along to blow up a TC or something like that. That being said, what else do I want to say about the tier 1? Farming, anything you need for farming is going to be right here, except for the water purifier. Yeah, just really nice changes, man. Really, really, really nice changes. This is great. Now, I think 1 or 2 patches ago, the water catchers also saw a pretty good buff, which was that their water catch rate would significantly increase during rain. And I don't know about you guys, but it seems like I play either... Whenever I log on to one of my vanilla servers, it's either nighttime or it's raining. So, pretty good buff there. Okay. I have to pause the video because my dog just got outside, so I will be right back. Okay, guys. Sorry about that. So, I'm not quite sure where I left off, but I think I'm done talking about tier 1. If there are any parting thoughts I had, I mentioned the electrical, the farming. Oh, you no longer need a workbench to craft a paddle, which is pretty nice. That's a good change, I think, for obvious reasons. Okay, so tier 2, this is what I'm most excited about. Look at this. Tell me what catches your eye. Get some thoughts in mind. What catches your eye here immediately? For me, salvaged axe, salvaged ice pick, so high up. This is the 2nd and 3rd blueprint on workbench level 2. The tier 3 gathering tools are now like entry-level resource gatherers. I mean, why would you ever use a metal... Why would you ever... Sorry, that was my Roomba. It's trying to find its way home. Why would you ever use a metal hatchet or a metal pickaxe? Salvaged axe, salvaged ice pick, right at the top. All you have to do is learn longsword. Now again, this could be... You know, this could be a total waste if longsword ends up costing a lot to learn. But if it doesn't, you can just get this out of the way real quick, and then you have salvaged axe, salvaged ice pick. I mean, this is what I look for every single wipe before. I refuse to use anything other than these 2 tools before I start gathering for a main base. This is incredible. This is the biggest part of this whole tech tree change is right here. And look at this. Hazmat leads to syringe, boots, hoodie, all road sign armor, and large medkit immediately. Look at how fast you get this. I'm assuming that this is going to be patched because the best shit in tier 2 is right at the top. I mean, there's nothing to work for. What am I going to get here? Sure, there's oil refinery, high external stone wall, furnace, and locker. But most of the time you get those anyway. I mean, you don't really need to research them, or you're not really struggling to find that blueprint. Auto turret, large battery, wind turbine. Again, this is all stuff that you will come across anyway. I mean, by the time you have enough scrap to even get near this blueprint, you will probably already have it. So, I mean, this is huge. This is, I can't stress it enough. Salvaged axe, salvaged ice pick right at the top. Are you kidding me? I would have put that at the bottom. These are really good. Now, I mean, you know, the only way it could be more broken if jackhammer was like in longsword. But that's not a researchable tool. Anyway, this is incredible. I just really want to emphasize that for many reasons. You know, the amount gathered goes up for every tool. So stone hatchet actually loses wood. I think you get like I think it only gathers like 70 to 80% of the tree. Regular hatchet gathers a normal amount, and then salvage axe actually gathers more than the normal amount. Which is why I refuse to use stone hatchet ever. Salvage ice pick, same thing. I'm pretty sure. So yeah, guys, this is huge. Biggest part of the whole change right here. Also, syringe and medkit, the buffed version of medkit, now being so close to the top, right after hazmat suit. Yeah, this is incredible. This is going to benefit solo play so much. There's also semi-auto pistol, which is just objectively the worst weapon in the game. So I don't really have any gripes with that being high up. Although that might take a little rebalance. We'll see. We'll see how much all this costs, and if it's even realistic to crawl through these tech trees or not. I don't expect to ever get to the bottom of any of these. But if I can snag salvage axe, salvage ice pick, you know, syringe, and then full road sign armor, I'm absolutely going to do that. Also, night vision goggles, pretty good, man. Pretty good, gotta say. I didn't think they'd be that good, but yeah, pretty broken. Okay. So, tier 2, amazing. You got triangle ladder hatch, which is just a bitch to find sometimes. So it's nice to be able to just snag that on the tech tree. But yeah, pretty cool. There's a few things that I don't think belong here, like counter, searchlight. No one ever uses that. And switch. Tell me right now what an and switch does, please. I'll wait. I'll fucking wait. No one knows. Wind turbine, auto turret, large, yeah. I mean, all this stuff's great. Cars, I would like to see this a little bit higher up. As it stands right now, no one uses cars except for, like, you know, vanity role-playing Rust players. So I would have liked to see this have its own branch. I would have liked to see this start up at the top and then branch down. Because as it stands, it's already so far down that getting all of these and building down is gonna just, it's not realistic. It's just not gonna happen. I mean, that has to be your whole goal for the wipe, to get all this stuff. So, you know, that's kind of my only gripe, because I would like to use cars, but they are very inconvenient. Okay, yeah, lots of technology with cars. Although I probably will start trying to use them because I know that they're getting buffed like every patch. So, but yeah, really cool stuff. Tier 2 is definitely going to be the workbench to grind out. And then we have Tier 3. I don't know if they're going to use the old costs. See, this is more in line with where I would have thought cars would have gone. Just right up at the top, branching off. Now, the best thing about this right here is in Tier 3. Most of the time, you're not going to research any of this. You just won't need to. But if you ever find yourself wanting to craft armored doors for whatever reason, you can, because it's the top blueprint, which I thought was pretty interesting how they put that at the top. Armored door is kind of the flagship I am at Tier 3 item now. Explosive C4 rocket, not surprising to be at the bottom. Full metal, not surprising again. What is surprising is that MP5 is so high. MP5 is right below armored door, so 1,000 scrap, you got yourself MP5. That is if the costs remain the same. Now, I probably will log on to another server after this and try to check and see if the costs are the same. And I'm pretty sure they are. So a lot of these are going to be not very realistic to work through, but it is nice to look at in Theorycraft. Because, you know, if every square on here costs 500 scrap, you're just not going to make it to the end. I mean, it's not going to happen as a solo player or very small group. You know, Tier 3 is not really something that you work through anyway. Tier 3, unless you're like a clan where you need to make guns for your group, you know, if you're a solo player, you never even need to research anything in Tier 3 because You know, you get one AK, your whole group is armed because all you need is one AK to arm your entire group, which is you. You know, but if you're in a clan and you get one AK, you have effectively armed. You know, if you have 10 people, you have armed only 10% of your clan with an AK. Does that make sense? It's for that reason that as a solo player, you will often find that you don't need to research anything above tier 2 because you will have spare sets lying around depending on how successful you are. I don't think I've ever crafted an AK as a solo player. Or any gun for that matter besides a SAR and a DB, of course. But yeah, guys, those are my thoughts. I think this is going to be extraordinarily beneficial for small groups and solo, and way less beneficial for Zergs because they already get everything anyway. So really, this is only going to have an effect on smaller groups. So I think it's really good. I think it's a really nice change. Experimentation, no one did it anyway. It was a total waste. So this is a very good idea. I mean, just look at all the blueprints you could have possibly gotten by experimenting. Do you really think this is worth 75 scrap per experimentation to get one of these? I mean, I think I tried it one time. I had a hemp farm and I was trying to get electrical branch. Or one of these. I can't remember what it was. I'm pretty sure it was electrical branch. And I tried to experiment because I had so much scrap. I was like, well, I mean, you know, just play the numbers. But no, I ended up getting like, you know, riot helmet, leather gloves, floor triangle, just all this crap, you know, and it just didn't benefit, it didn't help at all. You know, imagine like trying to get electrical branch, you're dumping 500 scrap into your workbench, and then you get Short's blueprint. So, really good change. Really like it. It allows for targeted progression, which I think is just outstanding. So, shouts out to Face Punch for this update. Helk, you're doing a great job. Best game ever made, honestly. I love Rust. Yeah, guys, this is great. Flame turret at the bottom, that's a joke. No one uses these. But, yeah, I think it's a really good change. So, now you see all the tech trees. You've looked at it in my video. You can see where everything's at. High velocity rocket, incendiary, obviously at the bottom. SAM ammo, same thing. I guess SAM sight is something you can only get at Outpost. SAR, rocket launcher, 5.56, flamethrower. Flamethrower, that is a good spot for it because you don't want people to be able to tech into flamethrower early on because that would just eliminate early bases, tier 1 bases with wooden doors and wooden walls. So I think that's a good spot for it. But yeah, guys, these are your tech trees pending pending review. Pending further change or whatever. Subject to change. Shadowfrex says that. So yeah, let me know what you think. I think it's an excellent change. Alright. Later, guys.